There's a story of a young man who was mentored by an elder. And the elder told the young man, find a feather pillow, rip it open, and take all of the feathers and scatter them around town. So the young man did that. Very next day, he came up to the elder and said, I did exactly what you told me to do. The elder looked at him and said, now I want you to go and find all of those feathers and bring them back to me. The young man was confused and a little bit frustrated, and he said, I don't think that's possible. And the elder looked at him and said, this is the power of your words. When we're careless with our words, those words can go all across town, especially when they're gossip. And it's impossible to get all of those words back. We need to understand that when we use our words, they have the power of death and life. The average weight of a train is 5,500 tons and travels at an average speed of 55 miles per hour. While that's not very fast, it's an insurmountable force to be reckoned with, and that is exactly the same kind of weight that our words carry when they carry gossip. The definition of gossip is simply unconstrained conversation about someone with information that is unconfirmed to be true. So if you're given information that's 100% true or 100% untrue or somewhere in the middle, there should be an honest evaluation about that information to be determined, is this something that I should or can share? There was a philosopher that had the triple filter test. Is this information true? Is this information good? And is this information useful to share with someone? When we look at the book of James, it reminds us that those who consider themselves religious but don't keep a tight rein on their tongue, their religion is worthless. That sounds pretty harsh, but that's what God thinks about gossip. God made us to be social creatures, but sin entering the world changed that relationship. And all of a sudden, we can use our words to connect with people in ways that are sinful when using gossip. We see some pretty strong language in the book of Proverbs when it says that God hates when people stir up conflict in the community. It's not a stretch to say that gossip stirs up conflict in the community. In addition to God hating it, it made the top 10 list. When God gave us the 10 commandments, it says, thou shalt not bear false witness against a neighbor. In the book of Romans, we see one of the most straightforward messages about gossip. We're given a list of things that stirs up God's wrath. Guess what's on that list? Gossipers. Yes, the same list as murderers and haters of God. That's a very clear message that God hates gossip. 3 ways that you can bring the gossip train to a screeching halt is to prevent it, ignore it, and confront it. When we prevent gossip, we can simply not share information that's not ours to share. So one of the easiest ways to not get wrapped up in gossip is if you have information, even if it's 100% true, but it's not your information, don't share it. When we ignore gossip, we make a conscious decision that the gossip train stops with me. We need to be participating in conversations that are building people up, not tearing people down. Even when someone is gossiping about you, not sharing gossip about them, because the gossip train stops with me. Then lastly, confronting gossip. Now this is one of the most difficult ways, but one of the most rewarding ways to stop gossip. It is totally okay for you to look at someone and to say, I'm not interested in hearing that because that's gossip. Now, just a heads up, this can go south very quickly if that conversation is not said with love and with grace. But when you say, I'm not interested in hearing that, or you ask someone, why are you sharing this with me? That stops the gossip train at the door. Now, this is also rewarding because you have that conversation enough times, people are going to realize they're not interested in hearing gossip. That is how we can bring the gossip train to a screeching halt. We like things to work, we like things to be functioning, but let me tell you, there are benefits when you have a non-functioning gossip train. First of all, there's trust. When there's no gossip in your life, there is more loyalty. When there's no gossip in your life, there is more trust. Secondly, we can experience true community. When we have what's called pseudo community over here, this means that we like people, we're friends with people, but there are underlying tensions. There's things between us that we don't really talk about. Perhaps it's gossip. But then on the other side, there's true community where we can be fully known, fully loved, and fully understood. We don't have any underlying tension. When we don't have gossip, when we can get to true community, this is where as believers, we can be strengthened together when we experience true community. Another benefit of having a non-functioning gossip train is the hope of salvation. There are many scriptures throughout the Bible that warn us against gossip, and that gossip separates us from relationship with Jesus Christ. Without the weight of that sin, we can look forward to having a hope of salvation. So right now, I want to encourage you to take time and pray for 3 specific things. First of all, that God would help us to be aware of conversations that we shouldn't participate in so we can give Him glory and honor in everything that we say. Second of all, that when we do have to confront gossip, that conversation would be said with grace. Thirdly, that we would be a source of honesty and trust so that we can offer the hope of the gospel to more people.